Good morning, Mr. Winder. How are you? Oh, I can't hear you. You look very nice. Good morning, Jeannine. No, I can't hear you yet.
I was
How
just saying,
about now?
don't you love my sunny background?
Yes, I do. Can you hear me, Jennifer?
Y-
Janine?
Yes,
Yes, I can. Hi.
How about you? Can you hear me now?
I can
Yes.
hear you.
Okay, it was my
Leah, will
fault.
you
My
will you
bad.
put up the slide deck, please?
Yes. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Jeannine, it's lovely to see your face for the first time.
I know this is great. I'm super excited about this. And
Good.
Leslie also, this is great. Hey, new friends.
Well,
I'm
I've
great.
emailed you a million times, so it's about time I finally
Well,
meet you face to face.
and I appreciate every email you send.
That's good. That's good. I'm
It's
glad.
always good news, right, Jeannine?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm really excited to hear more about the coalition.
Well, we'll get into membership, but we would love to have you actually join. There's not much to it, so
I'd love that.
yeah, we
I'd
can
love
send you
that.
a link.
And small organizations, there are five of us where
Oh
we are,
boy.
we're kind of like cowboys. We're shooting, aiming, and riding at the same time. There are lots of organizations that we really need to be really involved in that'll help us in the work, but we're operational, just making the time for it. But this is the heartbeat of what we're doing now, so it's super exciting.
Well, I think we need to really keep up the fight. I believe that everything that's happening now, we've known for some time now that this was coming. So I've continued to march on and continue to reach out to various communities throughout the region so that the message is we're going to keep after it until we win. And that's been my objective.
That's wonderful. I'm excited to hear more from you in a little bit too, Mr. Winder. That'll be
Thank you.
great. I think there's a few more people coming. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Happy Friday. Good to see everyone's faces. Hopefully people are warming up. It's going to get warmer this weekend. Very excited for that.
Very, very.
Yeah,
Wow.
for sure. Hello, everyone. So I think people are still joining right now, but I will be facilitating and I have a fun little thing while everyone's coming in. If everyone can put an emoji in the chat of how they're feeling today. Might be a fun little exercise. Just anything that draws to you today. I'm feeling the guy with the sunglasses because I'm just trying to bring in that warm weather today. Jeannine looks all smiley. I like it. If you're just joining, go ahead and put an emoji in the chat of how you're feeling. I know it seems very Gen Z of me, but it might be a nice little icebreaker. Kenye's feeling a little crazy. You want to elaborate?
No, just getting through Friday, that's all. Ready for the weekend.
That is totally fair. John's feeling a little sleepy. I totally feel that. Thank you for joining us. And the other John is feeling pretty okay. Good morning, everyone. If you all want to partake in our little activity, we're just putting an emoji in the chat of how you're feeling this morning. We got some smiles, we got some okays, sleepy. I'm trying to bring in some warmer weather this weekend. That'll be good. Rachel, you feeling happy today? That's good. Jerry, where'd your mouth go? How you feeling today? Is that a, oh gosh. Just okay. All right. I'll take that. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, everybody. And welcome to our February 3rd week of the month, February Kansas City Coalition for Digital Inclusion meeting. It's good to see some new faces, some returners. Thank you all for being here. I'm gonna go ahead and get us started. It's 3 minutes after. But let's go on. So for those of you, I think there's a few people new here, so we just want to go over our vision and mission for the Kansas City Coalition. So our vision is that every citizen and household in the Kansas City metro area has access to the internet, the equipment needed to use it, and the skills needed to take advantage. And Jeannine will remind us that it goes all the way down south, all the way down north, east, west, across state lines. And our mission is to facilitate collaboration amongst organizations and initiatives working to bridge the digital divide in order to maximize the resources for the greatest impact. We'll get into some of those impacts in a little bit. So for those of you that don't already know, we have our website, digitalinclusionkc.org. You can go ahead and check that out. There's also Twitter handles. We got our Facebook page and our YouTube. I believe our YouTube has all of our recordings of our previous meetings. If you want to go ahead and look back, we've had some really great meetings talking about different topics related to health, older adults. We've covered a lot, and there's always more to learn. And really quick, for those of you who are not currently members of the coalition, you can go ahead and fill out a form at digitalinclusionkc.org/join. Membership is free, of course. It doesn't cost anything except your time to be here. And I wanted to give some space for anyone who is new here. I think there's some people who this might be their second meeting. But if you want to go ahead and unmute and say hello, we'd love to hear from you.
Well, hi, good morning all. I'm Jeannine Midgett from Welcome Wellness and happy to be here.
Thank you, Jeannine. Jeannine will be presenting a little bit later, so that's super exciting to hear from her.
Hi, this is Roger. This is my first meeting and this is my first time speaking.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here, Mr. Winder. think that's everyone that's new from my knowledge. Thank you all for being here and for returning if you're a returner.
Just, John Trammell, have you been here before?
Yeah, yes, Leslie, I attended last meeting.
Okay,
It's
okay,
my
great.
second meeting. Yep. But
Great.
yeah, John Trammell from Health Board. Great to be here.
Brand new impact strategist. So welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for being here. Okay, well, and for those of you who might not have seen my face on the coalition meetings, my name is Leah Henriksen. I am the new program coordinator here at KC Digital Drive. I was an ACC AmeriCorps member serving last year here and then got hired full time. So this is my second year here on the team. So it's lovely to make connections with all of you through different spaces, including the coalition. All right, so Leslie is going to introduce our member update section.
Thanks, Leah. So February is Black History Month, and in honor of that, we have a couple of speakers who are going to talk about digital inclusion and Black churches and what they're doing in that space. There's a great push across the country happening in that effort. So go ahead and introduce Kenya Williams with Memorial Church International.
Hello, hello. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I'm requesting to share my screen if you all don't mind. Okay. Oh, here we go. Think I'm doing it right. Yes, all right, we're here. So hello everyone. My name is Kenya Williams. I serve as the Community Engagement Coordinator at Memorial Church International, and I'm also the Community Engagement Manager here at the Waldo Area Business Association as well. So at Memorial, we have just a few quick slides to kind of talk about what we do out in South Kansas City. Uh-oh, what's that?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. I thought someone was trying to give me. Okay. So again, we're going to talk about a few things with Memorial, our community outreach efforts, and why we joined the fight to bridge the digital divide. So yeah, we are under the leadership of Apostle Larry B. and Pastor Olivia C.Q. Aiken. Let me see if I get this screen on my way. Okay, there we go. And so actually this year, exciting, we're going to be celebrating our 30th pastoral anniversary, and also our leaders are celebrating 50 years of marriage actually in October. So we're just so happy to be under their leadership. And so just to highlight a few things about our church, our pillars of the church are preaching, teaching, evangelism, and discipleship. And we're doing this all throughout Kansas City, of course, but we target South Kansas City, Missouri. Hickman Mills is where we are located, but also our Ruskin Heights area to be able to connect, spread resources. We have a summer camp that a lot of Hickman Mills and Ruskin Heights residents were able to connect with us as well. And then we have partnerships with the South Kansas City Alliance, Hickman Mills United Neighborhoods, and we have an AmeriCorps Vista member who serves as a volunteer coordinator as well. So that's just kind of some of the connections we make to build our partnership and also to get connected and be actually active in community outreach and engagement. How did we join the fight to bridge the digital divide? Well, I was part of the KC Goes Tech, which was a cohort under Leslie a couple years ago. And when we went through our digital equity Vista member at Dave's Place, I'm saying our, because Dave's Place Community Impact Center is the nonprofit that I was connected with. And we went through this training. We were selected. It was 10 organizations in the KC Metro who were selected to join the KC Digital Drive. So when we joined, we did a 7-week program. Resident community members in the Walnut Grove area were able to purchase laptops. And Walnut Grove is one of the 5 neighborhoods under the Marlboro Coalition. And so once we got connected and got all these resources that Leslie was able to provide, as far as, you know, job searching and different community resources, skill-based training, immediately I went right to my church and said, hey, listen, we have the tools, we have the resources, we have the structured program. How can we make this happen? We need to make sure we have another cohort. And even with Dave's Place, we went on to get funding to get a mobile lab to be able to continue different trainings with Dave's Place, and again with our Vista member, to be able to get the basic needs training. And KC Goes Tech was something that was very helpful because it was built off of train the trainer. Like now I feel very comfortable, even though there's still a lot that I, you know, try to keep up with when it comes to all of these tech advances that are happening overnight. I feel comfortable with trying to take these same resources and put them in any community organization that would let me. I'm like, whoever wants to hear, even here at the Waldo Area Business Association, we're saying, how can some of our small local business owners benefit from this information? And they can benefit because we want to get in front of them and say, hey, here's how you connect, especially with our nonprofit organizations like Happy Bottoms, here's how you connect people with resources. So we're doing that in every area, but at Memorial, we're trying our best to be able to expand these resources as we create community partnerships and as we develop our, again, Hickman Mills and Ruskin residents as well. Okay, so to bridge the digital divide, we connect people to community resources that lead to empowered and sustainable lives. So we want to, I want to highlight just a few of our outreach ministries to connect this to what we're doing, you know, with the digital, to bridge the digital divide. So our food pantry, we served over 3,000 families in 2024. So when we applied for the devices grant that we were not selected for, unfortunately, last year, but we did that because we wanted to go and connect with the people that are already using our food pantry services. So how do we get those people in the building? We have a drive-through food pantry where people come twice a month on the second and fourth Wednesdays every month to be able to get these resources. So we say, okay, how do we get to a point where we don't even need a food pantry, right? And that's the thing. So these social services that are in Kansas City, like how do we get to a point where we don't need it, right? So we're saying, how do we get these people in the door, get them to be able to connect to these workshops, connect to different community partners who will come and teach classes, who will take the resources we have from the Kansas City the KC Goes Tech program and be able to empower our community so that, again, they won't even need it, right? This is a great resource and we are so happy to be able to serve, but how do we create this atmosphere of sustainability to where you can go out and, you know, maybe connect to different resources? Because the thing that we don't want to happen is that if Memorial, for whatever reason, our volunteers are sick or whatever, we can't and get people connected. How do we get information so that they can go to another South Kansas City pantry? How do we get the information out to them? So again, to empower them, but also to connect to different local resources, job placement and stuff like that. And then our young professionals ministry that that's a newer ministry, creating networking to support job placement, to support career and advancement, to just connect young professionals to people that can advance their lives in so many different ways. And how do we do that through the digital perspective? How do your branding, how are you presenting yourself online, making sure that your LinkedIn account is up to date, but also when you do presentations and when you connect and put yourself in these digital spaces, that's a big thing we want us to highlight with our young professionals ministries. How do you show up and leave your digital footprint? And so it can be something that you can continue to carry and be proud of. And then with campus ministry, we have of course, making sure that our seniors are getting connected to scholarships and also digital and financial literacy. Whether you're here in Kansas City coming to church every Sunday or there is a disconnect because you're off. We have a college student now in North Carolina, and every time she comes back, we can connect, but we are trying to get people to participate in like some Zoom calls, Zoom Bible studies and stuff like that. But there's this assumption that, college students or first year students are going off to college and they know how to use certain things. I mean, we have ChatGPT right now, which is a great resource that I love, that I use every day. But how do we make sure people are doing it in an ethical way, making sure that you are using it as a tool and not just trying to spit out a paper, because then you have academic dishonesty, right? So these resources are good, but how do we make sure that they are connected and understand how to properly use these resources? And again, we're looking at that from our pantry folks, our young professionals, and our campus ministry students. How do we protect our people? And again, empower them to use these AI resources, but make sure you're doing it the right way. And then I want to quickly highlight just with Digital Life KC. These are some things that we're hoping to do with this partnership as we get more updates on it. Host basic digital skills training classes at our facility, provide additional training classes. You know, if you wanted to get connected with different career fields, or even basic, like, you know, accounting classes and stuff, just again, to empower our community and give people the skills that they need. Match 250 students to career-based opportunities and provide training for resume creation, online job searching and applications. And again, that's another part, is to add that online protection as well. And if I'm going too fast, I'm trying to watch my chat here. I don't, yeah, I don't think
I'll let you know, Kenya, if we have some questions. I'll monitor for you.
Okay. And I get a little in the zone. I really like this, so I kind of just start spitting everything out, but I try to slow down. I just have a few more things I want to share though. Okay, so to effectively bridge the digital divide, when we went on to apply for that devices grant, we wanted to be able to create a mobile lab. And so, like, all of this stuff, you know, here sounds good and we want to be able to do it, but one of the barriers that we have to get around is to be able to get funding to get devices to create that mobile lab, which again, that mobile lab was introduced to, this concept was introduced by KC Goes Tech. And it's like, oh, wow, we can, you know, have a space to where people can come in, ask questions, even when it comes to signups with within our church. That QR code, right? One of the things that are super frustrating is a lot of people are throwing out QR codes because it's convenient, but not connecting people to what does that mean, right? Some people don't know that you open up the camera and then sometimes it doesn't work. So what's the next option when that QR code will not connect and somehow my phone's not working? And we have our, especially when we look at our motherboard and our senior citizens, and they have their phone out and they're pointing it at the flyer and they're like, but nothing's happening. What do I do next? And so again, that next step to be able to bridge the digital divide and make sure you're not left behind. It's one thing to say we did give you information because here's a QR code, but making sure they're connected, making sure they read it, making sure that they know how to save it to their phone or taking a picture of it, and then you can go back to it. There's a lot that we have to do to make sure people receive it, but also can understand the information. We also have a text alert where the whole church gets a mass text at one time with reminders and stuff, but there's some people that are just not connected. There's an assumption that everybody has a cell phone. It's like, well, why wouldn't you have a cell phone? Well, there's a lot of reasons why people don't have cell phones right now or can't afford to keep their bill up to date. So they may have it here, may not have it there. So there's a lot of work that we can do to even make sure these two tools that we use are being effective. And so we want to do some on-site workshops, connect community members to resources, and create some sustainable partnerships like with the Kansas City Digital Drive to make sure that we're doing work and making this sustainable and doing what we can to make sure we connect people to what they need. That's the bottom line. That's why we're here. That's why we serve. And I know I hopefully I didn't go too fast, but here's some information. If anybody here is like, you know, I hear what you want to do. I also want to connect, or I have some questions or even some ideas. This is what we do at our church or our local community. Please reach out to me. Again, my main full-time is here with Waldo. So there's my information. Feel free to call or text me. But that's it. Does anybody have any questions?
I don't have any questions, but I echo what you're saying. Having when I get an opportunity to speak, I was going to talk about relationship with the Baptist ministers and what some of the frustrations that you just alluded to in terms of 5G technology is a huge factor in terms of getting people out of the old habits and into new ways of doing business, as
Yes.
well as their ongoing life. The connection between the two is huge in terms of understanding. So I will be reaching out to you. We're doing workshops all throughout the region, which I will share with the group. But I believe that some of the things that you've discussed you're right on point. That's the last thing I'll say because it's your opportunity, not mine. But you're right on point. Thank you so much.
Well,
Thank you. Yes, no question.
I
Okay.
think this is the perfect time for you to go ahead, Mr. Winder, and then we can circle back with any questions that pop up after you have your thoughts.
Well, mine are going to be very quick, and feel free to jump in with questions as you may have, and I will be very brief as I possibly can. I am from this area in terms of I came out of Vietnam to Rockhurst University through the GI Bill. And my first job was in the mayor's office of Kansas City, Missouri. Mayor Charles B. Wheeler Jr. gave me my first start. Several years ago, I would say in fiscal year 22, we rolled out Al Winder and Associates and began to develop workshops throughout the community in terms of assessing the needs in terms of the digital space. The things that we found out by doing those workshops, we've gone north of the river, we've gone south of the river, we've gone to Kansas, we've gone all over the region in terms of listening. We listened very well to what the community was saying, and we've tried to build a team of people focused on navigation. We believe that the navigation methodology is the way to go in terms of reaching out to people. We're not the traditional where we just hook up and we bring a microphone and we have a bunch of speakers and we talk down to the people. No, we want to sit next to them in the audience. We want to share with them our stories as well as share with them how they can gain from the expertise of learning how to log on, log off, reach out and get to their health care, reach out and get to their Social Security, whatever it may be. We're focused on a lot more hands-on with our navigation curriculum as well as our approach to the matter. We have been fortunate to reach out through the city. I think Jerry Buckman is on here, and I won't steal his thunder, but we will hopefully in this year be coming back with more detailed plans and actions in terms of workshops throughout the region. We're excited about that opportunity. I would say that we also have reached out when we first arrived in 22 to University of Missouri, Kansas City, and developed a plan to convert all of the KCMO and KCATA fleet to alternative fuels, getting more green fueling and getting more transportation. My background is in transportation, workforce development, as well as community outreach is what my background is. I am a federally appointed special master throughout the Justice Department. I served there for 6 years as special master for Virginia, Maryland, DC, and Delaware. I'm excited to be back home and doing the things that I love to do, which is help people. With that, I'll just leave it at that. But those are some of the things that we've been trying to do. We continue to reach out. Well, most recently, we reached out to Rockhurst University, my alma mater, and we're going to be working with them in terms of developing curriculum, digital navigators, and using those young people in terms of outreach throughout the region and throughout the city. So we're excited about working with the students as well as working with the Black churches in the area, as well as the older adult thing that we just heard about with healthcare and those things. We think we have a lot of information to share, and we'd be happy to share it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Winder. And one quick thing that Kenya alluded to, Digital Life KC, which is I think what we use for our NTIA nationally competitive grant application, is the Digital Life Exchange. And I think, excuse me, we presented about that in the past, but we've got a group of 40 some organizations where we're really trying to connect those resources together and build that connective tissue in our ecosystem, so we're serving the community in a more efficient and effective way. So Memorial Life International was one of those organizations that signed on, and so we're excited to have you, as well as Winder and Associates was also part of that. Does anybody have any questions for either Kenya or Mr. Winder, or comments? All right. So hearing none, I think, Leah, it might be time for updates from our state broadband offices. I know I saw JR on here earlier. He might have had to pop off, but Kimberlyn with Kansas is here.
Yes, we can do quick state updates and then Jeannine's presentation. Kimberlyn, do you have any Kansas Office of Broadband updates? She says 1 second.
Okay, there you
Go
go.
ahead.
Yes, we are currently have our 2 programs, DOC, which are digital equity, our digital skills training programs, and our ADOPT, which is our device distribution and public Wi-Fi grants. Currently, the ADOPT program, it was the application closed February the 3rd, I think, February the 5th. And now we're in public comment. The DOC program, we are getting close to making award recommendations. It's just a matter of getting on the Lieutenant Governor's schedule to present to him the recommendations for award and get his approval. So we're looking to do that within the next week or 2, and then we'll get started on interviews and evaluations of our ADOPT program. And so that's where we are with the state of Kansas right now.
Kimberlyn, are those ADOPT 2.0 applications out there for public comment currently?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you tell us a little bit about what that process is and why you've instituted it?
Well, we don't do it for all the programs, but just in case, because it's public Wi-Fi, it was suggested that we have an opportunity for the public to make responses when it comes to those public Wi-Fi projects. They're larger projects up to $1 million, if you will. And so we're giving the window of opportunity for the constituents, the community, to respond to any of those projects. We don't do it for digital skills training programs, but we do for public Wi-Fi. So
is it only for the public Wi-Fi applications for ADOPT and not the devices?
right.
Okay, good to know.
And that's where we are.
Okay, well, thank you.
I don't think I see JR on here. Do you see him, Leslie?
No, I think he might have had to pop off. If he comes back on, we can loop back to him at the end of the meeting.
Sounds good. All right, let's move on to our featured content. We're gonna have Jeannine talk to us and present to us about what she's doing in Belton with her Welcome Wellness Center. I'll give like a very quick intro for you, and then you can go ahead. But yeah, so Jeannine has embraced technology and leveraged it to expand the reach and effectiveness of programs offered by Welcome Wellness Center, a collaborative health and resource center. They're recipient of awards in all 3 rounds of the Digital Inclusion Fund, devices, IT support, and new courses. She'll give an overview of her programs and services and how they're implementing each of the Digital Inclusion Fund grants to close the digital divide in Belton, Missouri. All right, take it away.
All right, thank you. Well, first of all, I'm super excited to be here and just talk about the work, but I'm even more excited to hear and meet others who are in the trenches doing the work. There are 3 words that'll be themes I'm going to keep coming back to: listening, collaboration, and delivering. And collaborating is everything. Kenya, I'm looking forward to reaching out to you and Mr. Widener just to talk more of how are we really aligning the work that we're all doing so we are just blowing it up and really making sure we're meeting all of our missions and deliverables. Okay, is everybody hearing me okay? So I'm actually in the Wellness Center. I do have a little background up, but right now we have the bass thumping going on because bingo size is going on. And I'm going to talk about this specifically, but let me just start. I do have some slides to share. Okay, and is everyone able to see my screen here?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, wonderful. So Welcome Wellness Health Education and Resource Center. So this was a program that initially was a Cerner Population Health Initiative. It was launched in 2011. And I'm not going to read everything that's in the slides. I got a little wordy. I will share these, but just a summary of the screen and the history. So Cerner approached this project as a population health initiative to see if projects in the community really do improve the health of a population. And we are located in a church. We are not supported by the church. We are church placed, meaning we occupy 4,500 square feet of space. We are in Cass County, and that's been great for us. We, though, also are very aware that being in a church may also be a trigger for people. So we have worked really hard to let those that we have the joy of serving know this program and the services that we are offering are for the entire population and community. Again, we're in Cass County. So the program quickly evolved from initially, we were doing just some biometric health screenings. We quickly grew the service lines out because it isn't enough to screen someone and identify that they're hypertensive, they have high blood pressure or elevated A1C denoting diabetes. We saw the opportunity to begin to offer some wraparound services, classes, and programs to improve health literacy. We also added physical activity and advocacy appointments to help people navigate the system. We were listening. We were listening to the need that people have to know how to manage a chronic condition. We're plowing on along. We're collecting outcomes. Being involved with an organization like Cerner, I had that big systems thinking mentality, lots of resources. If there was a question, I could go to R&D in a particular area and find out what's happening in research development with this particular concept that's in an electronic health record. Or if there was a question about something legally, I could just reach out to general counsel. So let me just pause. And then there was COVID. So we immediately went from being like all of us in a world of offering programs and services in person to in 48 hours, we stood up all of the programs that we could virtually. So health literacy classes, fitness classes. Screenings were very challenging for us because we were also doing some labs, but we thrived in the space and we were listening and we were able to identify just the huge divide that presents when people do not have either access to technology or the knowledge to really utilize it. So in 2023, Cerner concluded the program. And when I say concluded the program, the funding stopped. And at prior to COVID, this was a very small team with Cerner Associates. There were 8 of us on the project. COVID hit, it went to 3 of us. And at the time of the separation, there was myself and a contract person. And we had some conversations of, Do we close the program and bring it to a graceful ending, or do we find some sources of funding and continue this on? And that's exactly what we've done. And that's brought us to our new name. We are a new nonprofit with a history, but we are Welcome Wellness, and everything we offer is at no cost. So just a little bit about our demographics. This past year, we've had 685 active participants. And I'll explain, an active participant is someone that we have touched in a manner. If they've come to a fitness class, or they've come for a health screening, or they've come to a community CPR event, we are counting everything, representing 56 zip codes. What's interesting about our placement in Belton and being on church property, people will come from all over to have their faith needs met. So in some communities where there's an FQHC or a health clinic, you primarily are drawing, or there may be a catchment area of people that are within your scope and what you can serve. In this case, we have people coming from, again, 56 zip codes. There is inside of the St. Sabina Church, that is the property that we literally are located on, there is a Hispanic ministry. So with having a Hispanic ministry, that has given us an opportunity to serve a population, and to serve a population being correct with language and culturally appropriate. So the median age of people that we see in the daytime for the classes that we offer, health literacy classes, digital literacy, and fitness classes, is 64. The median age for health screenings that we offer, and the health screenings that we offer are, again, everything is free of charge, but that includes labs and a personal health assessment, and then just a results summary, so people really do have an understanding of the values. And the evening fitness classes, the median age is a little younger. We have taken our health screenings and our health literacy classes, and we have made them mobile. So we have been doing some health screenings in the historic Northeast. Again, we are in CAS, but we have the ability to take our programs and services where there's a need and where we have the budget to facilitate that. So just a little bit about what we've accomplished this year. Health and digital literacy. So the first program you see, Disfrutando la vida con diabetes. So going back to this theme of listening, we facilitated health screenings in the historic Northeast, and our clinical partner for health screenings is Research College of Nursing. And two of the nurse practitioners identified an area that needed to be addressed with knowledge and also lifestyle change, changing the lifestyle. So as a result of the health screenings, these two nurse practitioners created this 7-week program to learn how to manage diabetes. It was culturally appropriate. We served a meal at the start of each class. We worked with a small business to provide a clean meal with low carbs. So individuals had the opportunity to have a meal, have some conversation with their peers that are in the class of, hey, what's working for you? And then there was a lesson each week, anywhere from wound care to the importance of vision care to movement. We offer several chronic disease self-management programs. Now, these programs, going back to partnerships here, we partner with MARC, Mid-America Regional Council, and we offer evidence-based health literacy classes. So managing chronic pain, managing diabetes, matter of balance. We've offered several of those classes, and the Tech Tutors program, which I'm going to be talking about in a little while. Physical activity, we have people that will come into our space for individual workouts. We offer pickleball, and we have group exercise classes. I mentioned bingo size going on with the thumping bass behind me, which I'm glad that you can't hear, at least you're able to hear me, but that is a class that brings some fun. There's a lesson involved in the class, and the lesson is on fall prevention, and there are also some exercises. So our goal when it comes to any of the programs that we're offering is to make sure that we are offering evidence-informed or evidence-based information, that we are appropriate for those that we are serving, and that we are really instilling wellness. And wellness means different things to different people. If you are in hospice care, wellness may be just knowing that you can come to a yoga class that we have, either in person or virtually, and just breathe through the class. There may be someone else that wellness means coming to 5 fitness classes a week. But what is interesting for us is that we have learned really what is our lane. We cannot be all things to all people. We're not a gym. We're not a health clinic. We're in that lane to support people so that they're able to manage their best health at whatever that may mean. So in this year, 314 unique individuals participated in one of our health literacy classes, and we've had 4,900 visits for fitness classes, not 4,900 unique people, but we have people that there's some people that will come to a class 3 days a week or twice a week, or they're coming and they're working out 4 days a week. Again, everything we do is offered at no cost. Health screenings, we've screened 528 unique individuals, and those have been screening events that have been here on site in Belton. But again, we've been offering health screenings, excuse me, at 6 locations throughout the Kansas City area on the Missouri side. And truly an area where we have really excelled. And this again goes to the importance of partnerships. We have hosted 11 vision clinics. So going back to our health screenings, we offer a vision screening as part of the overall health screening that we do. But having a comprehensive eye exam, we have partnered with Access KC and a mobile provider where we have provided 993 vision exams this year. 400 of those were at Carver Elementary School. So we partnered with University Health, and their community outreach program had an opportunity for some vision services at the school. They reached out, we jumped in. The importance of the partnership with Access KC. Access KC issues vouchers for individuals that meet income guidelines for vision care, for hearing services, dental services, and also prescriptions. So individuals that are eligible can receive a voucher to receive glasses. So Welcome Wellness has become an issuing partner with Access KC. So when we go for a health screening, we're removing the barriers that transportation presents by offering the screenings in areas where people will normally visit. We can issue a voucher when we identify that there is an unmet need where a person really does need a comprehensive eye exam, or they really need some support when it comes to hearing. We are able to issue those vouchers on site, and we're able to work with the mobile provider in the case of the vision care to go back to that location for a vision clinic. And with all that being said, 142 individuals in this year have received glasses, which is super exciting. The photos that you see throughout this presentation are actual participants that are on site. So the picture that you see at the top is during one of the Disfrutando la Vida diabetes classes, where we had a yoga instructor come in, and those are participants in the class, understanding the importance of physical activity and movement as a way to manage your diabetes. And the picture down at the bottom is just showing individuals that were in the class itself. You'll see some logos also. Harvesters, again, the beauty and the importance of partnerships. At the end of the health screenings, we have partnered with harvesters, and individuals receive a bag of fresh produce. And as part of the health screening, one of the stations that individuals will visit, so they'll have vitals checked. I mentioned that we are running labs. They have a vision station. We also have a station set up in the health screening that talks about the importance of nutrition. And with these nutrition, with the items and the presentation that we're making, and this is very brief, it's about 8 to 10 minutes. We're making sure that we are appropriate to the audience. We're asking people to build a plate of what they feel is appropriate. So it's really great at the end of that health screening. People will have heard the importance of having, fresh fruit and vegetables, that we're able to give people a bag of produce, and they'll understand this is really important in managing and maintaining health. So the importance of partnerships. I mentioned that Research College of Nursing is our clinical partner. One of the things that we saw in the community again was the elevation of diabetes. So this is just the nurse practitioners that created the program, the Disfrutando la Vida con Diabetes. We submitted that for as a study. We've received the IRB approval for it, and 66% of the participants that were in the program lowered their A1C, which is huge. And it just underscores the importance of having education available to people, and also bridging community and the momentum and the lessons learned with, as you're sitting next to your neighbor, as you're sitting next to someone that you're taking a fitness class with, you are learning from them. This actually does work. And people, I think, are far more engaged to try when they see that their neighbor has had some success. We have started a second study, and we're awaiting notification that we can begin with that study. And that just again speaks to the importance of partnerships and relationships and listening. Now I'm going to get to the meat of what just makes me super excited, especially to speak to this group, tech tutors and bridging the digital divide. So with COVID, everyone's world changed, and what became glaring was the need for people who are under-resourced when it comes to electronic devices and the knowledge to be able to use them and to be able to function in their lives. So we did some research, and there was a program in Canada that was titled Cyber Seniors. That program paired a high schooler with an active older adult for one-on-one tutoring. The program was a 6-week program, and in all the research that we did, it was an excellent program for us to offer because we had an aging population, we have a captive audience, and the need was definitely there. So we partnered with Belton High School and their Academies program. And Belton High School has a very innovative program that's called the Academies, that when these students enter as freshmen, it's similar to their college, they declare what their area of interest in, and it is appropriate for the age. But there is a category for health and human services. There is a category for technology. So the high school selects those students that become one-on-one mentors for these adults. And the pictures you see at the end of the 6 weeks, we actually have a graduation. And we invite both the active older adult and their teen mentor to talk about what this experience has been for them. And it is very, very exciting. The Cyber Seniors model is the active older adult presents with the device they have that they're looking for more information on. Is it their smartphone? Is it their laptop? Is it their tablet? In 4 years, we've had 128 active older adults that have graduated from the program. 8 classes, again, 128 graduates. The pictures that you're looking at, that is literally the space that we're occupying. So lessons learned, what we've done is we're partnering in the Belton community. And for the last 2 cohorts of the class, we have hosted in the Belton Senior Center and also an older adult living community. So we're able to remove the barrier that transportation presents. With the classes that we've hosted on site at Welcome Wellness, we've been able to have either seniors that they're able to have transportation with someone who's able to drive that can bring them, or a family member. But being able to remove a barrier that presents from someone attending the class is an important lesson that we learned. The value of the partnerships, again, with the Belton High School. So in 2023, we asked the students at the Belton High School who had served as tech mentors to evaluate the program and look at areas where it could be enhanced and or changed. And the students came back with several areas to the extent that we have really developed our own program, which is called Tech Tutors. It was built on the premise of Cyber Seniors, but it has gone into more detail, where the session begins with a lesson that all of the seniors are listening to on cybersecurity, or building a Facebook account or an email address. And then the tutoring session begins, that is one-on-one. there were several enhancements that these high schoolers brought to our attention. And the program, the academies, is funded through Ford Motor Company's Real World Learning. And that's a program that is really challenging superintendents and districts to work in communities and give students experiential opportunities to take a look behind the curtain to see if an area or a field is of interest to them. So we are delighted that we've had the students. This is a graduation that we were able to have in the auditorium of the Belton High School. The graduations that we've had before have been on site, whether it's been at Welcome Wellness or the graduation has been in the Belton Senior Center. Having it on the stage of the high school was very meaningful for many of these seniors that some of them said they never had a formal graduation. So it is great to kind of drive that community connection for many of the residents that are Cass County. So just a little bit about, so the Tech Tutor Program, that's one-on-one mentoring with a high schooler and an active older adult. But we've been listening. And what we learned was the Tech Tutors program is phenomenal, but we really needed to address more of the concerns, and I don't want to say concerns, but a greater opportunity for us to enhance the learning experience. So Tech Cafe brings together the tech tutors for the one-on-one mentoring. It brings in a distribution of devices so that these seniors are learning on a laptop device and giving them also some IT support and creating really that continuous learning environment. So the Tech Cafe, these three elements, we're so very grateful that we were able to receive the grant awards because it's allowed us to really bring the concept to life. So before I go into the three areas that we have implemented from the awards, just a little bit about our outcomes and our impact with digital literacy. Those that have graduated from the Tech Tutors program, 90% reported improved comfort with using their device. Smartphones, tablets, laptops, and having the key skills navigating email, making video calls, and accessing online health services, which is huge. The social connection, 80% of participants reported feeling less isolated and more connected with friends and family, and the increased independence that participants are now confidently performing tasks, online grocery shopping, playing games, being on Facebook. So all of these are great things. And now I have just a couple of testimonials. I'm only going to read the comment because I want to get to the good stuff and let you see how we are applying the awards that we received. But just some comments and feedback from one of the participants, being able to see grandchildren's faces as much as the person would like, and having that connection. Because I think, Mr. Winder, you mentioned that people are just everywhere. There are folks that are, families aren't living in that connected community. People are across state, and having the opportunity to engage with family members is huge, addressing mental health and well-being. And just a comment from the student's reference, helping older adults was, and I love this word, was rewarding, that they learned patience and that they taught the student the importance of listening, that it's more than just tech, it's about community. And seeing these two groups working together, for many students, again, in the example that families are spread out, they're not in the same community. So having an elder or an older adult close by to have a conversation with may not be an occurrence for a teenager now. The relationship that was created in the 6 weeks between these groups, the teens really enjoyed listening to those older adults, and the older adults were saying, hey, these kids really do know something. There's a reason that their face is in their device all the time. So it's really wonderful to just have that relationship. And now this kind of brings me we as in Welcome Wellness are super delighted and very honored, especially hearing work that others are doing in the community. We are truly grateful for the awards we received. So in the award with devices, we were able to secure 15 Chromebooks. You'll see a picture of the Chromebooks we have and the serial numbers. and then also a recipient number. That is an internal code for us that identifies the person that actually received the device. So once the individual received the device, they also are enrolled into the Tech Tutors program, and everyone working on the same device is really important for us, where the tech tutor model before was individuals were working on, whatever device they wanted to learn on, their phone or their tablet. With this new enhancement and having a device, everyone is learning on the same device. So the didactic and the classes that we have, we're really able to grow those skills on a device that the person will take with them. This is their device. We received an award with IT support. So individuals who have received their Chromebooks, they're going to be receiving 30 hours of in-home tech support. And we're actually able to blow that out to others that are falling within. We do have income guidelines to receive the devices because we want to be sure we're addressing those of the highest need. So the device, having the IT support, and the IT support is in-home support, connecting to Wi-Fi, connecting to a printer if the individual has a printer, and then with new classes. So we want to be sure that we have built a learning framework. So we're building out a 101 level class so that people are understanding digital literacy and literacy are two different areas, and making sure that our classes are approaching those with basic literacy knowledge and growing their digital knowledge as well. Intermediate classes for that person that wants to know a little bit more of, gee, I would like to add pictures and create photo albums, or I would like to read a book online. And then more advanced skills, if there's someone that's comfortable enough and they want to learn something of Excel, or they want to know a little more about what's happening on the back end with websites that they're visiting. Our goal is to ensure that people are knowledgeable and that they are able to function in a secure environment and secure in their knowledge of how to protect themselves. So again, having a step-by-step approach allows participants to be confident in their skills. They're moving at their own pace and just growing in their digital knowledge. So I've said a whole lot. There are a lot of words. I know that we are making a difference. I know that Welcome Wellness is making a difference. I can see it. And I have this quote from Kiana Thompson at Health Forward Foundation. Welcome Wellness is producing outcomes above the capacity. I know we can do more, and the way we do more is in the partnership. So that was a lot of words. Let me just stop. And I'm answer any questions that you have. Thanks so much for this opportunity.
Thank you so
Great.
much, Jeannine. Does
Great.
anyone have any questions?
I have one statement. Great presentation. I think that the work that you described that you're doing is just fantastic. I will share that as a proud senior, that failure is the tough pill when you're used to doing things that you know you should be able to do, and all of a sudden you've got this gadget or this new tool, and you try it one time and it doesn't work. So going back and doing follow-up and having someone to be your mentor, if you will, through a process as you learn the utilization of the devices is very key. It's not just giving out the laptop or the whatever you want to call it, or the Chromebook. It's the follow up, the things that you're doing after the fact. It's not just presenting the information and saying you get it. They don't get it. And what you're doing enhances their life. It enhances their ability to be better in what they'd like to do, because most of us, when it comes to basic things, we forget what time it is most of the time. So all I'm saying to you is that kudos to what you're doing. Our COO is Kimberly Johnson Phillips, who is a most recently retired from Blue Cross and Blue Shield as an executive. I will ensure that Kimberly reaches out to you, because she has some great ideas, as like you do, in terms of healthcare and how we bring people into the arena and they remain in the arena so we can track them and see how they're doing and assist them as with their lifestyle choices. So thank you very much. I thought it was outstanding.
My pleasure. I do want to add one final thing, and of lessons that we learned as we had the devices, this work is the effect of, is the output of 5 amazing people that are relentless in serving others. But one of the team members called and had this conversation. Hey, I'm from Welcome Wellness, and I'd like to give you a free Chromebook and then send a teenager into your house to set it up. We realized that doesn't work. So having a kickoff event where we've invited those that are receiving the Chromebooks, bring your family member, your neighbor, your friend who is looking out for you to know this is a legitimate deal. This is real, and we're here to answer any questions that you have.
Exactly. Thank you again.
That's wonderful. I just wanted to ask one question, Jeannine. We're actually building out a digital ambassadors program with college students. And so I was wondering why you specifically targeted high school students and how that experience has been for you.
Sure. So originally we offered the Cyber Seniors program, and it was modeled on high schoolers. Literally, the Belton High School is across the road from us, so it made perfect sense for us to engage the high schoolers. And because we are a community resource, we have seen many of family members of the high schoolers that have come for health screenings. So it's another great opportunity for us to just expand on that community building. But what we would love to do is take this model with these high schoolers and, for example, Guadalupe Center schools, having some conversation with those high schoolers, and let's take the model with the student mentors and stand that model up in another high school and then just begin to build the model out because we have the outcomes for it.
Quick question on that. What does training look like for the high schoolers? How do they have to meet a certain amount of hours, or how do you get them prepared?
So what's wonderful in this relationship is the high school. So Chase Nugent is our contact at the high school, and he is really driving that real world learning academies curriculum. So he works with the teacher saying, here's an opportunity I have with this organization in your academy. What would be the students that would be good students for this? And the students, make the request, and they work with the teacher to be sure that the teacher does feel that the student has the appropriate skills for whatever that experience is. And then together, that's how those kids come to us. So it's great because we aren't involved in selecting those kids, but we are very, very, I consider those kids to be customers, as I do the individuals that are coming to take advantage of any of the programs we have, making sure that it's a great learning experience for them as it is for those seniors. And we have 2 separate orientations for those students and for the older adults, setting that expectation of this is the expectation. This is how you are to behave, active older adult. And the same thing for those high schoolers too.
Thank you.
I think Rachel has a question as well.
Hey, more of a comment, but Leah, Google used to run in Kansas City. We have what was called the Community Leaders Program, which was recruiting college students to work in nonprofits to do digital literacy training. And I have tons of resources from back in the day. If you'd like to talk through how we recruited the students, how we worked with the university to try to arrange credit or like internship type relationship. And the one thing I think is worth pointing out with intergenerational programs is that it works in many ways. One of the downsides is that sometimes the older adult learners don't have the same type of vulnerability with a young person that they might have with a peer educator. And so there has to be special attention paid to building that rapport between the younger teachers and the older adult learners. It's just a different relationship, and they might not feel as comfortable or as safe yet in really admitting what they don't know and how much help they need in the same way that they might with a peer educator. So anyway, happy to chat later if you want to, Leah, about what we learned in our program.
Awesome. Thank you. This is what this space is all about, resource sharing. Does anyone have any other questions for Jeannine? I just want to say overall comments in the chat saying that your presentation was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all the hard work that you're doing. I'm glad that, you know, organizations all over don't need prompting to understand how important digital inclusion efforts are around whether rural, urban, health centered, anything else. Leslie, did you have something?
I did. I just wondered, Jeannine, I'm really impressed by your geographic reach. Just wondering if you ever go over to the Kansas side of things.
So we have historically, we haven't gone to Kansas, and two reasons for that. The services that we're offering with the health screenings, we have a waiver to offer these services in the state of Missouri outside of a lab because we're actually providing these services out in the community. We do not have that in Kansas. And also the other piece is, now we could offer the tech cafe and the tech programs. It's just capacity and funding. But having these kinds of relationships and really exploring how we can lean into each other and collaborate is how we can serve and build greater scale. So I'm all in to have conversations of just how do we build this out? Kenya, I'm thinking about the school district over in the Ruskin area and the opportunities that are there for us to just take the model, plug and play it.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I know that Kimberlyn had a very complimentary comment in the chat. So should we end up with our state capacity grant coming out, maybe we should talk about coming on over to KCK. We have you know, some of the worst health outcomes in the state over here, as I'm sure you're aware. And would just love to bring more resources to this community.
We can be of help.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for the presentation. Leslie, I don't think I see JR, so we might.
Yep, just move to community announcements if there are any.
Okay, all right. Not sure you guys need the slides up, but are there any general community announcements of anything happening in the area? I'm trying to look around, see who's here, see who might have some updates. Sounds like Mr. Winder's working with Rockhurst. Jeannine's got tons of new stuff. Go ahead, Kenya.
I'm sorry. I was trying to cut it off. It wasn't digital necessarily, but I just wanted to mention it's Waldo Week, February 20th through the 28th. If you all can get out there in Waldo and do some shopping and eating and also just checking out our social media and do some posting. We have a great business community out here in Waldo. We're growing, we're thriving, but if we can get you all out here to check us out this week, we would appreciate it.
That's wonderful. I'll definitely come out if the weather's nice. Sounds like it will be this weekend.
Yes.
Back to your comment, Rockhurst, yes, we are moving ahead to putting something together. I will be reaching out to Leslie and in particular Leah's group and the wellness or welcome wellness and getting ideas. As you know, Rockhurst has a strong nursing management background there. They're one of the nation's finest colleges in terms of nursing management. And a lot of their students are in that particular educational background. But yes, we will be reaching out. We're going to be doing a whole day. We're setting up a day where Wind and Associates will meet with all the students in the student union and do a presentation, and that's coming up in the next several weeks. So I will be coordinating and talking to Leslie and her team and the rest of you with ideas as we move this together, so you're not surprised by the dates or what's going on. We will keep you informed, but we're excited about doing that at Rockhurst and we look forward to it. And some of the ideas that were expressed today, fit right along with our philosophy. So we thank you. And that's why we're so excited to hear these things that are going on around us.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Mr. Winder. There any updates? I think HEDC has some new classes. Gabrielle, I don't know if you want to share. Not new courses, but starting up again.
Yes, but we are still recruiting students. We move 1 week because we do not have enough students to start, but we are promoting the classes, yes. And we will promoting an Excel class too, and 1 class for small business. And we are in conversation with 5 small business that are interesting to those classes.
Do you have any materials to share with the group that they could share out?
I send you the new flyers again.
Yes, I didn't know if you had those that you wanted to share in the chat here, or I can share them out.
No,
can share 'em
because
out
I am
later.
changing the dates. I have to
Okay.
edit. Okay, yes.
All right.
Yeah, and Jeannine, it occurred to me, I was really intrigued by the high number of Spanish speaking people who you are serving. And so, at least in my community, it feels like everybody has a business, some kind, construction, cleaning, I mean, you name it. People have a lot of businesses in our Latino community in KCK. So maybe it would be great to just have those resources, Gabrielle from HEDC, that Jeannine could share with those folks in the historic Northeast, who she's engaging with, because you all have that training facility. I don't know if you want to talk about that briefly as well, Gabrielle.
Yes, we have an Independence Avenue, 1 lab. And another is on the Holy Street, our main office. We have those labs. At this moment, we are trying to catch what is the need for the community. It's no a secret that the Latino community is under certain amount of pressure. And now we are trying to deal with that pressure with our clients and our community.
I am happy to get together and talk about our programs and how we can collaborate in any and all ways.
Yeah, that will be fantastic. Now, in this moment, the community has fear, and they are very concerned to go to some places because they feeling that they are not sure. That's something that we are dealing. Not only HEDC, all of the Latinos organization everywhere, I think.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of pressure right now for that.
Yeah. In addition to regular pressure, we have high temperature in our environment.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap up a little early. I don't think there are any other announcements. Just a reminder that our next meeting for the coalition is on Friday, March 7th from 10:30 to noon, same as always. It'll be on Zoom. And the topic is civic and social engagement. So that should be quite interesting, especially in terms of what we're talking about with how social people want to be right now, depending on demographics and areas and things like that. All right. Well, if no one has anything else, I'll let you all go early. Thank you so much for taking the time this morning, and I hope everyone enjoys the nicer weather that's coming. All right. Thank you all.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
our presenters.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. See you later.
Bye.